most DUI cases, it begins with a traffic infraction where you're stopped for some type of infraction such as speeding, failure to maintain a single lane, running a stop sign, running a red light. Upon being stopped by law enforcement, the officers will approach the vehicle and try to determine if there's any kind of indicators of impairment, such as bloodshot watery eyes, odor of alcohol, slurred speech. Once they begin to observe these indicators, they're going to ask you to step out of the vehicle and perform field sobriety tests. Typically, they're going to ask you to perform 3 types of standardized field sobriety tests, such as the horizontal gaze nystagmus, the walk and turn, and the one-leg stand. The officers are looking for clues of impairment to determine whether or not they have probable cause to arrest you for driving under the influence. The officers will testify that each of these clues add up to a totality of the circumstances to prove that your normal faculties were impaired. Once they arrest you, they will take you into custody and you'll be taken to the jail. Sometimes you're taken to the central breath testing facility. In both situations, you'll be asked to provide a breath test or a urine test to determine whether or not you're under the influence of alcohol above a 0.08 or a controlled substance by the presence of a drug in your urine. Most people will either refuse or submit to these types of chemical testing. If you refuse, there will be consequences to your driver's license, of which you'll have to challenge administratively those consequences, which is a completely separate process that you'll have to go through. That'll be through the Department of Motor Vehicles. Upon arrest, you'll be asked to remain in the jail in the facility for about 8 hours before you're released. At that time, you'll have to find where your vehicle was towed at and then immediately contact an attorney so you can determine what steps you're going to have to take administratively to get your license back, or what you're going to have to do once you receive that first court date called the arraignment. There's going to be several court dates. In most cases, if you do hire a private attorney to represent you and defend you on these charges, contact our firm so we can get into the details of your individual case and all of the possible defenses.